Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So welcome to another market open stream. Bitcoin is about to kick off a huge week. There will definitely be more gains ahead. Not only for Bitcoin and crypto, and for markets, I believe, too. So let's talk about everything that's going on and what to expect this coming week. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Let's get started. Welcome. We are certainly starting out the day much higher than last week. We're starting out the day in the 120s. Remember, I said this last week, too. I said we'd go ahead to 120s, and here we are. 121,670, and we were as high as 123,200 just yesterday. So we are definitely in new high territory, which is exciting. But you also have this turnaround for alts. Is this the start of altcoin season? That was one of the big things I said yesterday in my video. You look at someone like Sui that's up 14% today. Look at their recovery. It's a tremendous recovery. And then you got others like XRP that's up 5%. Say, recent mover because of stablecoins, up 7%. Overall, ETH is above 3,000. Overall, we are moving in the right direction. That's for sure. So let's look at the market, U.S. market. NASDAQ is in the green. Last week, it was kind of rocky a little bit. But today, as expected, because of Bitcoin's movement, MicroStrategy is up, Coinbase is up, Robinhood is up, even Tesla's up. Anything related to crypto should be up substantially today. And I think Wall Street is going to FOMO more. Okay, they're going to keep on FOMOing. And it's not going to stop. It's the reason why things have been so strong recently, because these guys have been FOMOing for a year now, probably over a year. No, it's about a year. And they continue to FOMO more, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Outside of that, we do have more tariff stuff, right? We got a couple more weeks before that August 1st deadline. But in the meantime, expect more countries to be making deals. And the more deals, the better, right? Obviously. So expect more of that going forward. Also, we do have Powell and the Fed and rates to look forward to. Everyone's trying to now find ways to fire this guy. Now trying to find cause. Because if there's no cause, there's really no reason to fire him. But now everyone's trying to find cause. And I didn't know this, but the Federal Reserve is renovating. They're renovating their office, and the renovation costs $2.5 billion. Now, supposedly, this was in the budget already. It's a large renovation, $2.5 billion. You know what we could do with $2.5? You know the Burj Khalifa only cost $1.5 billion. So what do you need to do for the Federal Reserve building? I mean, I walked around it. It's not that impressive a building. What do you need to do for $2.5 billion? I guess that's the new question. So everyone is blaming Powell for this. The budget is over budget. But you know what? We'll see if Trump utilizes this, tries to use this as cause to fire Powell, bring in someone that's very, very trigger happy, and we may get some huge rate cuts coming forward. I don't know if that's going to happen, but they're trying to build this narrative now. It's quite interesting. It's kind of like, finding whatever you can to out him, basically, at this point. Well, we'll see. We'll see. And what relates is tomorrow we will get a CPI reading, which is anticipating that inflation is going to tick up from 2.4% to 2.7%, and core inflation's going to go from 2.8 to 3. So it does show we are going to tick up. But however, we may come in below expectations. We'll see. We will see. Of course, there's a big FOMC meeting end of this month. Are we going to get a rate cut? There are some Fed presidents that are calling for a cut, despite Powell saying no. So, and now with this, what I just reported, a lot of Powell's under immense pressure. That's for sure. Huge pressure. All right, now, other great things. This week is considered crypto week. A lot of bills may be getting some floor time in the House, which is good. I mentioned this yesterday too. I misremembered the third one, but we got the Genius bill, okay, the Digital Act or the Clarity bill, and then you got this anti-surveillance one. That's the one I forgot, but it does revolve around CBDCs. But all these will be very positive. Genius bill obviously passed the Senate with the flying colors. Will pass the House with flying colors. That's unknown. You got the Clarity Act. Don't know if that already passed Senate, maybe. And then you got this anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, which basically says no to CBDCs and yes to stablecoins, which relate to the Genius Act. So these may be getting some floor time, and that would be very positive as well, right? Obviously, if the Genius Act gets passed, it's going to be very, very good. Very good indeed. All right. What else? What else is good? Bitcoin has now moved up above Amazon and Google, sitting right below Apple. It is the world's 5th most valuable asset by market cap. Still, I mean, we're not too far away from Apple. Microsoft, Nvidia, we got to go to the 150s, 160s to break their market cap, which is doable this cycle. But still, gold the big daddy. To reach gold, we got to be over $1 million each. Probably not this cycle, but that's a goal. And it's going to come much sooner than later. That's why you don't want to be sitting on the sidelines. There's still time. That's a 10x. People that think Bitcoin is way too big, you're not going to make any money. Just think about that. It still needs to do a 10x to reach the market cap of gold. And it's the surest bet there is. It may be slow compared to some of the other offerings in the crypto space, but 10x is 10x, man. 100,000 becomes a million. A million becomes 10 million. 10 million becomes 100 million. What other way can you multiply your wealth like that as quickly as that? Because that's probably within the next cycle, next 4 years. It's coming sooner than you expect, guys. And we still got plenty of room to grow even this cycle. It'll be interesting to see ETF inflows for this week. Last week was tremendous, 2.7 billion. The last 2 days, 1 billion plus each. Look at BlackRock taking in 953 million themselves. BlackRock, Larry Fink. See, look at it. Look at how there's red in other funds, except BlackRock. BlackRock is only in. There's almost never outflows. This is a big reason why Bitcoin is going up, because these big boys continue to buy. It's not just BlackRock. Obviously, there's other funds, and obviously these are for clients, but BlackRock themselves, they have other funds that they have stated that they're buying their own ETF. Basically, if you're not getting a piece, you're losing out. That's actually what Robert Kiyosaki said. He's been saying this for a while. Bitcoin over 120K. It's great news for those that have some. It's bad news for people that always found some excuse to not buy. Every single time. Every single time. I used to have coworkers that tell me the same thing. Well, I could have bought Bitcoin in the hundreds, and then now that it's thousands, I can't buy it. Same thing. I've talked to people that said, hey, I could have bought Bitcoin with 1,000, and this was around 10,000. Same thing. There will always be people that'll say, I could have bought it lower, but then they always find some excuse not to. And today, there are still a lot of people that don't. I have friends and people that I know that still hold zero sats, not even a little bit. There's always some excuse. But I guess that's good for the rest of us, because we know better. We know better. Saylor, just like Fink, continues to buy. Another $500 million purchase. And MicroStrategy now holds 601,000 Bitcoin. Saylor knows. You got to take advantage of the situation, the time that we have. Because after Bitcoin goes above $1 million each, it's just going to be that much harder to accumulate. Think about it. Right now, $500 million, you can still buy thousands of Bitcoin. In 4 years, this $500 million could probably only buy 400 Bitcoin. That's a big difference. It's a huge difference. That 10x makes such a big difference. Metaplanet also decided to buy close to 800 Bitcoin, $100 million. Two of the companies that everyone's looking at right now. Salvador continues to DCA 1 Bitcoin at least per day. Now they have close to $1 billion in Bitcoin, over $400 million of unrealized gains. This is the way to do it. Just accumulate. HODL and accumulate. HODL DCA. This is what I've been preaching for a very, 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 very long time. That's all you gotta do. It's the winning strategy. There's nothing else you need to do. And during bad times, people get very angry. People get very angry and say, why is Bitcoin not moving? Or, I'm losing money. What's going on? Is DCA the right way to do it? Well, time and time again, Bitcoin has proven that's all you need to do is hold on DCA no matter how low or how scary it goes. Just continue to hold on DCA, and that's the winning strategy. And you could argue the same with a lot of alts. You got to be more selective though, but still it's the same strategy. Look at people that have been DCAing SUI, which I've been talking about for a while. Went down to like $2.30. Now it's almost to $4. Within what? A week? Sometimes that's all it takes. Just 1 week and you have a huge turnaround. That's all you need to do is hold on DCA. Now, final thing. So I want to show you guys. This is interesting. For the first time in 7 years, Bitcoin has not been able to break above this trend line, and it just has. We've been talking about this next leg up. There's no doubt we are now forming that next leg. We're in that next leg. And where are we going? Well, this one, based on this inverse head and shoulders, thinks that we're going about 130. I think that's conservative. There's others that have shown 140, 150. But we're definitely making that next leg. And it's not like you guys didn't know this. I've showed this many times in terms of how Bitcoin follows the M2 money supply. And we were right at the cusp of catching up. We certainly have caught up a little bit, but hey, maybe we do head to 130. And then we got a lot more to catch up because the M2 money supply has been skyrocketing for quite some time. So if you're just looking at the money, there's a lot more that will be out there that will be coming in. And we're still heading higher. Ooh, we're 122, guys. 122. Look at that. It's looking good. This week is off to a great start. You got a lot of reverse mergers recently. Here's one where this biotherapeutics company does a reverse merger and becomes hyper liquid strategies and is buying a whole bunch of hype for the Treasury. Recently, we've been seeing a lot of that. Tron did some reverse merger. Someone else did a reverse merger. It's like the new thing. If you want a crypto company to be listed, to do some kind of merger with some kind of existing company. Kind of interesting. Very interesting. All right. That's pretty much it. I mean, you got a whole bunch of greens, guys. A whole bunch of greens everywhere. What's not to love? Let's do some Q&A. Ooh, Dow turned green. NASDAQ turned red, which is kind of interesting, but still. Dan Webb. Let's celebrate 122. It's too early to bust out the blue label. Maybe for some of you guys, it's afternoon or nighttime. Sui's about to crack $4. They are just unstoppable right now. I don't know what it is with Sui, but they caught fire. But, you know, it's one that I've been telling you guys about. And XRP is starting to catch fire, up 6%. Over $3 now. XRP trying to become a bank, trying to get their stablecoin regulated. There's a lot of stuff going on. Say, take a breather, but still up 7%. AVAX trying to get back above 22. Pretty good recovery from just last month when it dipped to $15. Solana, a little bit slow, but nearing 170 once again. Once it cracks 186, that's when I think it's really going to start accelerating. Mantis says, drop 1K into Fed. The more I read about it, the more excited. Good for you. Gene Bowler, want to thank you, George. You got me through some dark times. Give me hope when I thought all was lost. You're welcome. You're welcome. J Squad says, I think XRP will reach $11 for top. $11, like a little bit, like 3.5x from here. I think that could do it. That could do it. I mean, here's the thing. I think Bitcoin's going to at least do 2x from here. So can XRP do more than 2x? Say do a 3x. If it does a 3x, it's like about $9. But 3.5x goes to 10, 11. That certainly could be the case. If we have true altcoin season, it's probably going to go higher than that. If we had true altcoin season, XRP may do like a 5x, which would put it at $15. So I guess we'll have to see. But it's not unreasonable. Circle is so weird. Circle is just not behaving right. It just dropped out of nowhere on Friday. MicroStrategy up. Look at that big gap that it formed. Up almost 4%. Coinbase continues to be hot. Up 2%. Hood up 2%. Basically, anything related to crypto today is going to be very hot. Very, very hot. Have you been keeping an eye on Pengu? 3-month 5x? No, I have not. I have not been keeping up with any memes. Do you have a new prediction for crypto market cap high? I don't know. We're at 3.8 trillion. Most of that is Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin doubling adds another 2.4 billion to it. Let's just round up 4 plus 2.5. You got 6.5, and then the alts will at least double. So you 6.5 to 8. You know, before I said we'll probably end up around 11. I think 11 or 12 is that. I think that's what I said before. I think that's still certainly possible. Even conservatively, we'll be at least around 8. So non-conservatively, if you just go a little bit more aggressive, we're pushing 10 and 11. If we have a true altcoin season, I could see how we could be pushing 15 to 20 trillion. If we follow like previous altcoin seasons where altcoins just start exploding like crazy because everyone's FOMOing in, then we could probably get like a 15 to 20 trillion market cap. But I don't know if we're going to have that. Yeah, XRP is flying. 302 now. Man, I've been playing my long positions over the weekend. I think just basically yesterday. I made a killing yesterday. It's always good when the timing's right. Everyone's a big winner with longs. But I've been very conservative, playing with 3x, 5x, not like the usual 10x, 15x's like before. Had I done that yesterday, I would have been like, man, I would have made so much. But I'm not being greedy like before. I learned my lessons. Have you heard of DigiDollar from Digibyte? Pascal, I have not. I have not. I haven't kept up with Digibyte, to be honest. Philippe, what about AVAX? Target for next leg up. 22.79, something like that. Maybe a little bit higher, but no, I think it's about 23. 22.80, 23. And then after that, you know, like about 25, 26. And I got 4,000 people watching. You know what? I didn't check the liquidation levels today. Let's take a look. Let's see where we could be heading up to because it's been pretty accurate as of late. Let's do 12 hours. All right. So this is what we're looking at. There's not a whole lot of big levels above. The next big one is 123.5. And then we got all these small levels until 25, and then more small levels until 130. And then nothing's above 130. If we go below, we could certainly hit 120, which no one's going to be complaining if we did. And then the next big one is 118.8. Can we possibly go down there? Yeah, there's always a chance. Maybe like a flash crash down, but right now there's just too much FOMO. There's so much FOMO. We keep breaking to the upside. Can we go down to 120 and then go back up? I can see that. But, you know, last few days, we just kept going. So, like, it's very plausible we just keep going until, like, about 125 today. Like, we shoot up to 125, take a breather, and we get more buying, we could shoot up to 130. 130 does look like it's the next stop. Right there. Clarkson says, we're partly retail, but I call myself educated retail. Yes, it doesn't mean retail investors. Generally speaking, when people say retail investors, it's like a negative thing. It's negative connotation to that. Like retail investors are stupid and institutional investors are smart. But retail investors, man, we have access to so much data these days. So much data. We could be very educated and make all the right moves. You know, the more you learn about hedge funds, the more you realize that they provide very little gains. They make most of their money through fees. They're not making most of their money through gains. Very little of them actually outperform the S&P 500. So you can make an argument, just go buy an ETF and you could outperform most of them. Right? But if you're a little bit more educated, like you educate yourself about Bitcoin, you're vastly outperforming S&P 500. And if you get a little bit more educated in everything else, you make even more money, right? So same thing with people with stocks, people that are educated about AI, about Tesla, about, you know, anything. You could do a lot these days. You don't need to depend on someone else. Crypto Moose. Is Trust Wallet, Coinbase Wallet good? Yeah, they're both really good. Very solid. I like both. I also like Rabby a lot, which is a browser wallet, and Phantom a lot. Man, you know, if the market turns green, if the U.S. market turns green, we have some good green days. This will help drive things even more up. Is it worth scaling into hyperliquid at these high prices? Well, I don't know. I never bought into hype. They have risen up way, way, way too quickly, so I don't quite trust their market cap. And plus, they have a whole bunch of tokens unreleased too. However, there are a lot of people that are using them, and then I just covered this reverse merger, so hopefully it's all legit and they're here to stay, but just not something that I'm particularly interested in. Is it Joe asks, is it time to FOMO? I think there's still plenty of room. Plenty of room for alts. Most alts are not even close to their January high. So you don't need to FOMO. You could just DCA still. Like for example, XRP got up to like 330 back in January. It's still a 10%. 10% 10% to go. Right? Like someone like ADA. Man, back in January they were like 120. Still a long ways to go. ETH even back in January was what? 4,000. It's still like a 30% gap right there. So there's plenty of time to DCA. You don't need to FOMO. You can still DCA. Although it could close that gap really fast. Really, really fast. All it takes is like a week, 2 weeks. So you don't want to wait too long either. Yeah, Wall Street's picking up now. MicroStrategy up 4%. Coinbase up 2. Robinhood 2. Look at this. Look at that. Chit Chat says, even though ETH charts are boring and slow, should we start looking into buying in with BlackRock starting to purchase big amounts? Is that a fact? Let's see. We know they're buying a whole bunch. Ooh, there's Solana ETF here too. Yeah, the last 3 days of last week, 200 million, 300 million, 211, a lot of BlackRock. That is an early indicator, and they've been accumulating a lot, although there's an outflow there. But yeah, the last 3 days were pretty big. That's something to watch out for. If they want to dominate Ethereum too, that could increase. And now we have a Solana one. Not very big, but it's a weird reverse merger kind of thing. Gotta wait for the other ones to come in. It's a valid point, chit chat. I guess I'll start keeping track of it more. Dead fish cheese spread. Should I order Lambo? It's never too late to place an order. You know what sucks about Porsche? Porsche prices are sky high because there's no allocations and you can't make any orders. So, they're kind of like acting like Rolex. Like you can't get them, or the dealerships are getting them and marking them as used so they could add a tack on 50 or 100K. That's what I hate about Porsches. Lambos, Ferraris, they may be super high prices, but at least you could go place an order. They'll let you place an order. You just have to wait a year or so. Porsche, you can't do that. They'll just say, "Oh no, there's no allocation. You can't. You just gotta wait for it." I'm like, screw you guys. They're playing a lot of games at Porsche dealerships. They're acting like they're below the other guys. I remember your vlog video when you went to Paris. Did you end up liking it? No, I did not like my time in Paris, mostly because I hated the food there. A big part of traveling is the food. I hated French food. I don't eat snails. I don't eat frog gras. I don't eat like their weird soggy duck. Like Peking duck. Like Chinese duck is like the roasted kind that's really good. French duck is like some weird kind of way to eat duck. I mean, so nothing there was enjoyable. Every restaurant served the same thing. And they didn't have like any basically American restaurants at all. Yeah. Someone brought me to like an Italian restaurant. Their pizza sucked. What I would have done to just like, I would have killed to just eat a burger there. There's no burgers. Everything is French cafes inside Paris. So I hated eating there, and I don't like small cities either. But I guess the shopping was good. Eiffel Tower was good, But yeah, I just didn't enjoy the food at all. I didn't even see any McDonald's there. They didn't have any. That's why, yeah. And then with all the kidnappings and stuff, I don't really look forward to going to France again. French fries doesn't exist in France. That's just American made. Are you really complaining you left America for a vacation, but the country you went to didn't serve American food? Yeah, that's why I didn't like it. It's not they didn't serve American food. They didn't serve Chinese food. They didn't serve good Italian food. They didn't serve any food, Japanese food. In fact, the most enjoyable one was a Korean place I went to. And it was highly rated because all the other restaurants were low rated. In America, it's not like you just eat American food. You have food from all the other countries. Maybe they're Americanized, but still. You have great Italian food here. You have great Chinese food here. You have great Mexican food here. You go to Paris, they have no great food from anywhere except French food, which I did not enjoy. So that's the difference. It's a huge difference. It's not just about liking American, missing American food. Yeah, they had a whole bunch of pastries. Sure, they had their baguettes and croissants and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, outside of those things. I have not been to Prague or Berlin or London. I want to go to some of these other European cities. I hear London's great. I don't know about Prague, and I don't know about Berlin. People say food in London is not good. I don't know. I haven't tried too many fish and chips in my lifetime, so I don't know if they have really good fish and chips or not. Uh, I had beef Wellingtons before, a couple times. I didn't. I was not impressed with beef Wellingtons. Yeah, vinegar on fries. I don't think I could do that. Fish and chips in a dirty newspaper. All right, guys. Enough talk for today. Even though it's exciting, we may be taking a breather because of the weekend pump, but still, we got a whole lot of movers. XRP's heating up, SUI's still hot, ETH is heating up. Got a whole lot of gains, and there will be more coming, more ahead. So, stay strong, my friend. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see where tonight goes. I might even live stream tonight if the market's really hot. So, have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.